Hey guys, welcome back to Down the Stretch. Today we're going to be having an early look at the feature event for Saturday, the 14th of June 2025. That will be the Luchipu Trophy for 3-year-olds and up, overnight allowance. Nominated so far is a field of 11. They go 8 furlongs. So we're going to go through these nominations here. We're going to go each horse and try to figure out who'll win the Luchipu Trophy. Okay, number 1 is Atlantic Convoy. Uville Pinnock riding here for Patrick Lynch, coming in top weight of 126 pounds. Last time out, 5 furlong straight, was 6 by 4 1/4 lengths at the odds of 5-2 to Shokomo. So comes back 6 days later, still burdened by top weight, but doesn't require the services of an apprentice. So I think Patrick Lynch is pretty confident with the chances here of Atlantic Convoy, stretched out to a mile now, and going to take that 5 furlong straight gallop recently as just a warm-up run. Before that, 5.5 furlongs on the 8th of March. So he was coming off a slight break. He was 5th by 8 3/4 lengths to Digital One, California Crown, and Bootylicious. That was in a grade 1 race. So stepping down in class, got his warm-up run on the 8th of June. Even from top weight, it looks like Atlantic Convoy is the horse that they're going to have to beat, in my opinion. The 2 is Blue Vinyl. 126 pounds, Demar Williams going to be claiming 3 kilos off of that for Gary Subrati. Last time out at 7 furlongs in the Labor Day Trophy. Came from just off the pace to be beaten a neck in a dead heat for second with Major Danger, beaten by Interesting Times Ahead. He was carrying top weight there, so getting that 7 pounds off and coming in at 119 pounds here. A mile, last time at a mile, was a very convincing winner by 5 lengths, beating Geolithic and Burn Notice in overnight allowance in the Will in Charge Trophy. That was a much easier race though, and he was only carrying 116 pounds there. Has more by way of competition in this event, but still has some class. Was the winner of the St. Leger and the 2000 Guineas in his year, and Classy Sort does have his problems. You don't see him at exercise doing any flashy work, so it does have his problems. But once I'm turning up in the right frame of mind, should definitely have a say, especially getting some weight off of his back. The 3 is Impressive Force, Ray and Lewis here for Philip Fiani. Last time out in the Musical Maestro, which was 6 days ago, was 6 by 9 lengths to Fearless Soul and Money Market. Before that, at 5.5, came from way off the pace to finish 4th by 7.5 lengths to Stablemate Unbelievable Force. Was a win at 7 furlongs in overnight allowance on the 12th of April. That was a 2 3/4 length win over Kem and Unspun. Last time at a mile was 5th by 13 lengths, and before that, at a mile back in October, was 2nd by 3 3/4 lengths to Run Julie Run. So, in my opinion, not really looking like a real miler, but does seem to have ability. Not really taken to task at exercise, but doesn't really have to. Had a nice run last time out, although beaten 9 lengths. And interesting to see what Mr. Fiani has in store with this Impressive Force, even though I think he prefers to sprint. The 4 Fearless Force, stablemate of Impressive Force. Ian Spence riding here for Philip Fiani, comes in at 116 pounds. Last time out, the 23rd of May, 7 furlongs. Was staying on at the finish to be beaten 5th by a length and 3/4 to Interesting Times Ahead, Major Danger and Blue Vinyl after coming out slow at the start. That race was carrying 112 pounds, is up 4 pounds now. Before that, at 7 furlongs, was a convincing winner in a smart 125. Much easier race that. Got the pace, the lead really easy, with very light coming at 106 pounds and won convincingly. Definitely on the improved. This one looks to be more focused at exercise than Impressive Force, in my opinion. And I think stretching out to a mile now, I think he's going to enjoy it. Still coming in light. I think this Fearless Force looks very, very dangerous in this event. The 5 Rainsville, Tyrese Anderson going to be claiming 4 kilos off of that, 120 pounds. Richard Azan trains. Last time out, 9 furlongs in the Ivan Mattis Cup. Finished 5th by 7 lengths to Divine Force, Gervano, and Sistine Treasure. Off the pace, but just couldn't quit into it was a very fast pace run race and just couldn't catch up to the horses. They weren't stopping. He's a horse that tends to close on a pace that's tiring, but that pace on last was not tiring. They kept rolling. Before that, at 9 furlongs and 25 yards, same story. Strong pace and the field wasn't coming back, finished fourth by 12 lengths to run Julie Run and Inspire Force. His last good run, I would say, was back in the 19th of October when he won at a mile, beating Run Julie Run and Sheer Delight. But as I said before, he prefers a pace that collapsed. In that race, did collapse because they went 23:45, 1:12, and finished in 1:40. So the pace absolutely came right back to Rainsville, and he won that race. This race now, I think this race has the potential of being a 1:38 run mile, and I don't see Rainsville running 1:38. To be honest, I don't see him running 1:38. But definitely fit, working at the exercise and getting that 4 kilo claim off, coming in light. You still can't rule out a chance of him running a good race. The 6 Rhythm Buzz, Philip Parchment here for Vincent Atkinson, 120 pounds on the saddle last time out in the Ivan Mattis. Same thing, was caught in a pace that was not folding and finished fourth by 4.5 lengths. Still a good run there behind Divine Force and Gorvano. Before that, at a mile, was running on in a very easy early pace, and then it quickened up in the stretch and was finishing fast, but just not in time to catch Sheer Delight, losing by a head. So back over the mile where he loves it, and with the bustling Philip Parchment in the saddle, working well, had a nice work on the 7th of June, out the chute, a mile in 1:40 and 3, beating stablemate Stomp the Rhythm. So this Rhythm Buzz is definitely in here to run, and he loves a mile and should definitely have a say in the outcome. The 7, Immeasurable Joy, Wesley Henry here for Anthony Nunes. Last time out was 7th by 4 3/4 lengths to Interesting Time Ahead and Major Danger. Off the pace, staying on late. Before that, won a mile when making all the running in 1:40 and 3/5, beating Brenda Boy and the Main Mistress. Going to have way more by competition and pace in this race, but is improving at the right time, this filly, and could earn a share in this event. The 8, Sistine Treasure, Paul Francis for Gary Sobrati. Last 2 runs were pretty decent runs. On the 10th of May, 9 furlongs in the Ivan Mattis Cup, was third the entire race and still was only beaten 3 1/4 lengths to Divine Force and Gorvano. Came back at 7 furlongs in the Labor Day Trophy, coming from way off the pace to be beaten only a half a length by Interesting Times Ahead and Major Danger. Coming back now at a mile, should get a strong pace in front of her. And Paul Francis, a very bustling rider, could get this Sistine Treasure in the thick of things where it matters most. The only thing I've seen they've put back on the figure 8. I don't know why. 2 good runs without the figure 8, and they've now put it back on. So that's some cause for concern for me. But still, if the right Sistine Treasure turns up, should run a good race. Lion Charmer, Juvenile Pinnock here for Patrick Lynch, coming at 113 pounds. Was 7th on last in the musical Maestro when coming up to this level. Before that was a winner at 6 furlongs at 5 years, none was a 4. Has it all to do against the likes of these and can't be fancied. The 10, Mr. Senator, Roma Gordon claiming 4 kilos here for Anthony Nunes for 116 pounds. Running some good races here at overnight allowance. Getting some weight off, so coming in pretty light. He's a late running grey horse. In my opinion, I think when I hear him at exercise, when I'm watching videos and hear him, he sounds like a roarer. So I'm wondering if he's having breathing problems. But if the pace comes back, he's one of those horses that should be staying on to try to get a piece of the exotics. And the 11, Further and Beyond, Dick Cardenas for Dalton Sir Drew, coming in very light at 115 pounds. This horse has gone backwards in the past few starts for a former Horse of the Year, former Jamaica Cup winner. Had a track record for 9.5 furlongs. So this horse is definitely what represents the class horse of the event, the back class horse. Busy at the exercise, working well in my opinion. His last run was 9th by 11 lengths. I was watching that replay. That's when Dick Cardenas got this ride. And Dick Cardenas was motionless the entire trip. It was like he was just going through the motions. Just going through like it was a warm-up run. And he finished 9th by 11 lengths in 1:29.1. He ran for that race. So that's pretty good. If that was just a workout race, that's a pretty good workout race. And Dick Cardenas has opted to ride him again. That is a big plus for me. And in a race like this, where yeah, it's a very tricky race, in a competitive race. I tend to want to go for the better jockeys, and with Cardenas on this horse, I think this Further and Beyond is in here with a brilliant chance. So I'm going to scratch those last 4 runs and more pay attention to the race he ran on the 8th of February in the Alan Billy Williams Trophy, when he finished third by 3 lengths to get a Pepsi and Supremacy. I think a reproduction of that run would definitely see Further and Beyond finishing strong, because I think Dick was just trying to get a feel of him in that event, and he retains the ride. I'm liking this Further and Beyond. So I'm boiling this race down to 5 horses in this event. 5 horses. They're going to be Atlantic Convoy, Blue Vinyl, Rhythm Buzz, Fearless Force, and Further and Beyond. Those are the 5 I boil it down to. And as I said, if I'm going to make a gamble in a race like this, I'm remembering back to the 25th of February last year in the Alan Billy Williams Cup, when Further and Beyond and Atlantic Convoy dead heat in that race. I have that as my thumbnail, the picture when they dead heated in that race. And I'm kind of mirroring that race here. That's what I'm seeing in my head when I'm reading this race, that Further and Beyond and Atlantic Convoy will fight it out. I would have given Atlantic Convoy the edge, but because the handicaps are in favor of Further and Beyond, I think I'm going to take a chance. A lot of people might not agree with me, but I'm taking a chance with Further and Beyond to fight it out with Atlantic Convoy, and then Blue Vinyl, Fearless Force, and Rhythm Buzz for the minor share. Okay, guys, that's my first look at the feature event, the Lucci Poo Trophy, and I hope we have some luck. And tomorrow I'll be doing the full tips for racing for Saturday, the 14th of June. All right, guys, as usual, stay safe.